There's a moment in every live cash session. You know the one. The guy in seat 6 just took a brutal beat, flips his cards, and starts ranting about how the deck hates him. Another player's stacking chips from a hand they barely understood. And across the table, someone's in the tank, completely lost, letting emotion and ego drive the decision. And there you are, sitting quietly, watching it all unfold like a science experiment. That right there, that's the edge no one talks about. The ability to remain calm while everyone else collapses under pressure. And if you've ever found yourself unaffected by table noise, detached from the chaos, or even unfazed by high-stakes moments, congratulations. You're not lacking something. You're built differently, and that difference is extremely profitable. I'm Vinton. I coach live cash grinders, and today we're breaking down how your cognitive control and emotional composure, what I call mental insulation, gives you a strategic edge that few players even understand. Let's get into it. Let's start with the first major concept, the tactical pause. This is the mental habit of stopping the spin before it starts. When the pot is growing, the pressure's building, and everyone else is reacting fast, you pause. You slow the moment down. You analyze. You play your hand, not the drama. Let me show you what that looks like. You open in middle position with king-queen suited. Two players call. Flop comes. Queen 9-5 rainbow. You continuation bet. One caller. Turn is the 8th. You fire again. River is the ace, and after your small value bet, your opponent snap raises. Now this is where it all goes off the rails for most players. They panic. They second guess. The ace must have hit him. What if he slow played ace-queen? What if I'm value owning myself? But when you've trained that tactical pause, you do something rare. You breathe, you slow it down. You realize no flop aggression, no turn raise, just a sudden weird pop on the river. That's not strength. That's desperation. You call. He shows a busted straight. You didn't win because you sniffed out a bluff. You won because you paused long enough to see the real story, not the scary one your brain wanted to believe. That pause, that's a skill. It's mental discipline in action. And it's not luck. It's not instinct. It's trainable. You don't need to guess under pressure. You need to create space in your thinking. That leads us into the second concept, narrative breakdown. This is when someone across the table tries to sell you a story, and instead of buying it, you tear it apart. Here's the scenario. You flat call with pocket tens. Villain opens. Flop comes 7-4 deuce. He bets big. You call. Turn is the 9. Now he overbets and says, "You're not calling this unless you've got the heart." That's not strategy. That's theater. And theater works on suggestible players. Players who want to believe they're up against the nuts. Players who assume that confidence equals value. But if your suggestibility is low, which I suspect it is if you're still listening, you're not playing the man. You're playing the line. You think, this is a dry flop. That overbet on the turn doesn't make sense for an overpair. He's selling a hand he doesn't have. You call again. River bricks. He checks. You check back. He shows ace-queen. Airball. You didn't call because you're a calling station. You called because his story had holes. And you were paying attention. That's the power of being hard to convince. In poker, being psychologically stubborn isn't a flaw. It's insulation from manipulation. Let me give you one more hand. You're in the big blind with pocket 8s. A loose player on the button raises. Flop is king 7-2 rainbow. You check. He bets big. You call. Turn is a 5. You check again. He overbets. He's trying to end the hand with pressure, not logic. And because you're not wired to react emotionally, you're not spooked. You're looking at how often this guy bets big when he actually has a hand. The frequencies, the tells he doesn't know he's giving off. You call. River's a 6. You check again. He shoves. You fold. He shows queen 9. No pair, just a story. And he knew you weren't listening to it. Now here's where it gets interesting. If you've ever tried psychedelics, or even just put yourself in a high-stakes, high-intensity situation and walked away feeling calm, not because you forced it, but because your brain just doesn't react like others. That's not a block. That's not numbness. That's control. I once took 22 grams of psilocybin truffles, the kind that launch people into mystical realms. My friends were gone, talking to entities, crying, seeing God. Me? I just felt still, present, lucid. At the time, I thought it meant I was broken, that I was missing something. But now, I realize it's the same system that makes me unshakable at the poker table. I don't surrender easily, not to chemicals, not to noise, not to pressure. And that's the reason I win when others unravel. I wrote an entire piece about this mindset, how it translates from life into poker, and how to train it if you've got even a trace of it in you. It's on my Substack, and I'd love for you to read it. Links in the description. So here's what I want you to walk away with. This game punishes emotion. It punishes those who chase closure, justice, or meaning in the moment. But it rewards clarity, detachment, mental economy. If you can stay present when others are lost in their own tilt spiral, if you can play the hand in front of you, not the one you wish it was, if you can pause, break the narrative, and call or fold based on truth, not tension, you're not just playing better poker. You're playing a better game. So here's my advice. Start observing your reactions. Catch the spin before it takes over. Train your mind to ask, what's the story here? And does it actually make sense? Track your calm like you track your bankroll. And if you want a structured way to train this, beyond hand reviews and YouTube videos, that's exactly why I built Vinton AI. No gimmicks, just real spots, real logic, real feedback. Free to start. Link below. If this hit home, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who tilts too often and thinks it's just variance. Drop a comment and tell me this. What's your edge? What helps you stay calm when everyone else breaks? I'll be reading everyone. Stay grounded, stay sharp, and as always, let them tilt.